many of you are still watching. Which is that okay. Then the earlier videos were lower quality. Then this will be still pretty low quality. So not big problem. Firstly, what will happen is we see the expansion of Greek forces over in the east. They first need to explore, and some people decide to form elite settlements to fasten up than the Greeks and the Brown team. You can count them both, I don't care. The Brown team is pretty strong, but as we move east, there's something that's gonna happen. The steppe becomes discovered by massive people, many people to evade taxes. You could say this becomes a libertarian's utopia, and land without taxes, very similar to the nomadic empire. Which, speaking of the nomadic empire, they could move over here and expand and subjugate all the other nomadic tribes that are beginning to colonize these lands. While as we move in the east, Arabia starts to be conquered and people start moving in it. It's not really that important for people, and some people from the east of Africa will discover Arabia. And the moving with only increase Arabia's that big. But eventually Seamen. And what that's funny, yeah. But the religious fishermen discover the coast, and then they explore more and settle more. Now most of the Arabian Peninsula is explored. The blue team and the red team are not don't hate each other that much anymore. As you can see, the world is entering a pretty peaceful age, one full of trade and you could say globalization. The nomadic empire is expanding north, and conquering lots of land, becoming the dominant power in Central Asia, and becoming rivals with the Caucasus. The nomadic empire also has colonized the Volga. The texts of free areas are pretty tribal, with minor towns with, you could say, communes or what do you want to call them, and minor states. So as you can see, troops move in and they move out. From the orange team decides to colonize the Crimean coast, and then they discover the Dnieper River. They explore more and more north of the Dnieper River. The Dnieper River becomes a major ground point for exploration and other things. I think my sister is sleeping right now. This is a minor river that I didn't know the name, probably lower down. I didn't know what this river's name is. Is colonized at first by these guys, but eventually the green team strikes back. The Caucasian country moves its troops northward and decides to launch a pre-colonization invasion, as it's pretty common to this point. in the series for these things to happen. The nomadic empire, even though being near and in the Volga River, it decides to set it as a boundary and still moves over here to this other river. I don't know what it's called. Probably down, probably down. It is like lower down, I think. They move to this useless wasteland called Kalmykia, which historically is Buddhist, and in reality is Buddhist. As you can see, the nomadic empire is the largest country on this planet, but they are not the strongest. Strongest should go to either Egypt, the yellow team, and the red team. These three countries compete for power, and these three are the middle powers sitting in conflicts. The line team becomes basically just a buffer state that just survives because of its size. As we move to the Caucasian country, no empire should be able to stay in this for long enough time. Cultural differences will grow over time, and by the way, a lot of episodes cover like 100, 200 years. So any collapse is imminent. But first we gotta spawn in a little bit more cities. I have discovered basic intelligence. And finally, the fishing village of the capital of the nomadic empire finally becomes a city, and the first cities in the nomadic empire gonna rise. Caprese and Chicken. As we move, the first thing what's gonna happen is the collapse of one country, and that is through the differences of its geographical territories. And that is the yellow team. Now, of course, the red team is still pretty unstable, but due to the low population and low power of the Nord, it's able to keep its areas controlled, at least due to low population. But Anatolia is dividing itself with Syria because of its higher population, better resources, and more trade opportunities. I mean, they have trade with Greece, the orange team and the red team. Syria has trading opportunities over here. I mean, they only have the Nile trade routes. I mean, the Nile traders are these trade routes. Hey, I should add a map of trade routes. So let's do that. I'm gonna make a whole new map mode. This useless map mode, which will probably in the future should have gone with here. Now is the trade routes. Firstly, let's start the southern trade route, which will be the dark yellow trade route. Stinky. The dark yellow trade